So, anyway. Yes.
Were oranges named orange because oranges are orange, or I gotta figure out the rest. Was orange
The color orange?
The color orange named orange because oranges
Are that color?
are that color. Sure.
I don't know.
I forgot the exact words, but it confused my brain and actually.
Mm-hmm. Anybody have any thoughts on that question?
On that, orange.
Which was named first, the color or the fruit?
But that's not as fun as saying orange 8 times in one sentence.
I suppose. Anyway, welcome to Caffeinated Mondays.
Hi.
I need some coffee. I should make a sticker that says that I need some coffee.
Yo necesito café. Café.
Necesito café. Más café.
Yo necesito más café. Is it yo or just necesito?
Depends. You don't have to say the yo because it's implied in the way you conjugate I need.
Need coffee.
Need coffee.
Need coffee. Need coffee.
Oi.
I'll make you coffee.
I have coffee.
I want coffee.
Have coffee.
I want coffee.
I'll probably have more coffee later.
I want coffee. This is mine now.
No, don't drink my coffee.
I want the coffee.
Okay. Anyway, once we get things settled down here, I will be showing you how to make some chunky granola. Chunky. I used to make granola all the time. We always had granola on hand for quick, easy breakfast. But I have slacked off lately, and I thought it was time to make some more granola, so I thought I would just show you guys how to make granola. However, this is a different recipe that I've never used before, so we'll see how chunky it actually turns out.
Sorry.
Alright. So yeah, my normal granola recipe is simple, it's sweet, it has a lot of brown sugar in it, but it doesn't get those clumps of granola. It's more loose. And so this recipe promises to make chunky granola.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is from Heidi Schultz Books. Her blog is blog.heidischultzbooks.com, and the post is called How to Make Healthy and Clumpy Granola. So we are going to try Miss Heidi's recipe and see if it lives up to her promises. And I promise this is really not a cooking show, believe it or not. We are actually supposed to be talking about coffee. But, you know, I have to have coffee in the morning with my breakfast, probably actually before my breakfast. So I was thinking about breakfast recipes that we could do to go with our coffee, because it's just part of the daily routine. You gotta have breakfast, you gotta have coffee. And hopefully my phone camera will be functioning and you can see a few close-up shots while I'm working. That is part of my setup that I'm still working on. But anyway, we will do our best. And I do not have the recipe put in the notes here yet. I've got to train my moderators to do that for me, I guess.
What do you want?
Alright, so we're going to start with 4 cups of, the recipe calls for rolled oats, and I am going to use quick oats, because that is what I had on hand. I normally do use rolled oats for my granola, but I've been kind of obsessed with granola recipes lately, and I've saved a whole bunch on my Pinterest boards, and a bunch of them called for quick oats, so I bought quick oats.
I have your Aeropress recipe in the chat now.
3. Oh, okay, that was from last week.
I know it was, but
yeah, I'll show you how to set up the recipe information so that you can just post it quickly in the chat. Okay, just get that out of the way. The next ingredient is a teaspoon of cinnamon. There's a heart. Thank you for the heart.
You're welcome.
I'm not sure how long the stickers stay on there. Are they like 10 seconds?
No.
I programmed it in, but now I can't remember. Okay, so we're going to put a teaspoon of cinnamon. And this is the ground Saigon cinnamon that I got at Costco, Kirkland brand.
That's a good one.
Oh, it smells good. And then we need a half a teaspoon of salt. And I gotta reach over to my salt thing. My little salt canister. All right, then I need a cup of dried fruit. Oh, nobody went down and got the dried apples.
I can do that.
Okay. I would like to put some raisins and some dried apples in there. All right, so this recipe says to put the fruit and the nuts in with the oats, and I am going to skip the fruit. I'll put the nuts in because it has been my experience that when you put your raisins or your other dried fruits in before you toast the granola, it can burn them. So I like to put my fruit in at the very end. And I need to preheat my oven. I almost forgot. Okay, so my oven is heating up to 300 degrees. I need a cup of nuts. I'm going to use pecans. And I usually just throw whatever I have on hand in here when I'm making granola. Sometimes I use mixed nuts. You wouldn't want them to be overly salted if you were like buying some mixed nuts. This might actually, thank you, this might actually wipe out my pecan supply. But that's okay. I bought them to use them, right? And I am going to break these up a little bit because pecan halves are just a little bit much for granola. Alright, so what is your morning routine? Do you usually eat breakfast? Do you go for like the whole hog, bacon and eggs and pancakes and the whole spiel? Or do you like something quick and easy, or like granola, or cold cereal, or minimal cooking like oatmeal? I would be interested to hear what you do. We kind of go in phases. Alright, that's enough of the apples. I won't have any more apples for making granola.
I had one.
Okay.
No, 4.
So I'm just going to stand here and break up the pecans with my hands. Oh hey, I can show you what I'm doing. I'll go over here. Can you see me? Oh, no. Move the camera. There. Now, I apologize, the camera is kind of sideways. I am using a free NDI capture app for my phone, and it's a little bit laggy, and I can't rotate the view. So, but at least it gives you guys a little closer look at what I'm doing. If I could, the other issue is just that my tripod doesn't position the camera the right orientation for this. So eventually I will invest in a better camera tripod, or I will pay for an NDI app. Thank you for the heart, Elena. I like being able to hear that in my earbud. Okay, this cinnamon smells so good. And while we're making granola, since this isn't a cooking show, tell me what your current favorite coffee is. Just put it in the description box down below if you're watching on YouTube, or you can comment in the chat here on Twitch. I would love to hear about what is waking you up in the morning. This morning I had a Bali Blue Moon coffee, and it was so good. I'm still finishing it. It's so good. I brewed it in my Aeropress, and I went a couple grams heavier than I normally do. It just seemed like the thing to do. I weighed it a little bit heavy, and instead of correcting the weight, I just went with it. And I thought, oh, this is going to be really strong, because those Indonesian coffees tend to be kind of intense. But Bali Blue Moon, even at 2 grams heavier than my normal amount, was absolutely smooth. It smelled like spices, like cloves, like molasses. Like, it's a heavy-bodied coffee. And my Aeropress method made it's more like Americano style. I used the inverted method. I think the recipe that Joy posted in the chat a few minutes ago. But I used a couple extra grams of coffee in it, and yeah, it turned out so good. I just pressed it right into my Contigo cup, and then I topped it up with hot water to fill the cup. And wonderful, amazing, glorious Americano coffee this morning. Alright, rinse off my hands. What do we do next? Oh, I did not put in the coconut flakes. 1/4 of a cup of coconut flakes next. I'm going to have to mix it in. Maybe I'll actually get a wooden spoon this time. My hands won't get all cinnamony. Okay, so this is unsweetened flaked coconut. Spoon. Let's get a spoon. Yeah, it looks better. Okay, I'm going to switch the view back. Alright, and we're going to get into the wet ingredients next. Oh, now you can see my phone tripod. Okay, get this out of the way. So we need to melt some coconut oil. I have that pre-measured here. 5 tablespoons of coconut oil we're going to melt. And we are going to heat that up with the honey. Yeah, we have some homegrown honey, which is the best, by the way. If you have never had fresh from the hive honey, you're missing out. Okay, how much honey do I need? 1/2 cup. 1/2 cup of honey. Where did I put the honey? There it is. It's super runny. See how runny that is?
I like it for making bread.
It is nice for making bread.
It gets stuck in the measuring cup
Mm-hmm.
less than thicker honey.
Oh, that's interesting. I hadn't even thought about that. So if you measure your oil first and then the honey, it comes out of the measuring cup really easily.
And with the runny honey, it comes out.
It just pours out like water, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna put the honey in here with the coconut oil, and I'm going to heat them just on like medium-low heat. Do you want to let Captain out for me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Light, thank you. And I am going to go back to the wooden spoon so that my hands are a little bit farther away from the heat. Oh, I need to turn that down a little. You need to melt the oil before the honey starts to bubble. Alright. I had choice, according to the recipe, of using oil, like vegetable oil, or coconut oil. And I thought the coconut oil would give it a better texture after it's already toasted and cooled and everything. Check my recipe again. Oh yeah, this is pretty good. Once the coconut oil gets melted, then we'll wait until the honey starts to bubble and foam up a little bit, and I will get my close-up camera over here so you can see what's going on. There we go. You switch it there. Thank you. Oh, it's nice to have a helper. Okay, so we're just waiting for that. You can almost see. Whoops. I have to move the camera so that you can see better. Coconut oil is melting. And if we wait until it's just getting sort of foamy, then we know that the honey and the oil have incorporated together, and we can add the extra wet ingredients into there and whisk it all together, and things should be pretty smooth. There, now everything is melted. I can let that warm up a little more. There we go. Straighten that up a little. And it's just starting to get foamy right here along the edge. That is the hot side of my burner. There it goes, that's looking good. Make some foam. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to switch me back to the other window. There we go. Okay. So now I need to add a teaspoon of vanilla. There's my vanilla. And that's going in with the honey and oil. And I need 2 lightly beaten egg whites. So I'm going to separate these eggs here into this bowl. And I'll keep the yolks for something at a later date. Hopefully not too much later though, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll make some breakfast burritos or something and throw those extra egg yolks in.
Breakfast burritos for lunch.
Why not? Here, you want to take that? Here. So it's like I can't get to the garbage can right now.
This step stool's gonna get in the way.
My kitchen is a little bit reorganized right now. Okay, here's the other one. Thank you. And I need a whisk. I'll beat these egg whites just a bit. Okay, so I've got the honey, I've got the oil, the vanilla, and now the egg whites. And I think I'm going to use the whisk on this to incorporate those. And the wooden spoon's going to go into the mixing bowl with the dry ingredients. And I'm just going to whisk this until it's nice and smooth. And my egg whites cooked a little bit. Should have tempered those egg whites. Okay. So now, the next trick will be to drizzle this all over the dry ingredients and mix it nicely. I may end up having to dig my hands into it, we'll see. Okay, drizzle that and stir it. Get everything, all the moisture out of that. All right. Get this all mixed up. And then we will spread this out on some Silpat lined cookie sheets, also known as bun pans, I guess. When I was working in a restaurant, we called them bun pans. I think they're actually quarter sheet pans. Okay, that looks pretty well mixed. And I will go back to my other close-up view. Shall over here, hopefully so that you can see this space right here. Okay, so let's put the here, and according to the recipe directions, we're supposed to put half of this mixture on one pan and half on the other, and we're going to spread it around but make it like a donut shape so that you don't end up with your edges cooked more than your center. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. And then press it down. I think this is supposed to help it clump up more.
We haven't made granola in a while.
Yeah, we haven't made granola in a while. And it's really not hard. It is definitely cheaper than buying granola at the grocery store. When you are feeding a lot of kids, it is important to make sure that you can feed them healthy food and not have to spend a fortune to do so. Okay. Get some stickies off my hands. Okay, that looks good, Elena. You did a good job. So here's my pan, here's Elena's pan. They are going to go into the oven and bake for 25 to 35 minutes. Okay, let's go out to the, whoops. We need to go back to the other view. And I will try and remember to rotate those. So let's set the timer for 20 minutes and then we'll rotate. Okay, cool. And you switched us back to the chatting view. Nice. Okay. Let's clean up some mess.
Where's the lid?
The lid for that should be in the cupboard on the top shelf. And then when that granola comes out of the oven, we will add in our dried apples and some raisins. So while I'm waiting, I should go ahead and chop up my apple rings because these are a little bit too big for putting in the granola. Let me get a cutting board. Here we go. Cutting board and a knife. And we need the overhead view again, I think. It's not exactly an overhead view, but you know what I mean. Close up. Close up view. These are pretty dry. We dried them till they were crunchy. These are apples grown in our orchard just up the hill outside this window that is lighting up the side of my face. Sure. Oh,
Doggy.
here. Doggy?
Yes. Dog. Uncle?
I think these are the Gravenstein apples.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
We didn't do anything else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Must be Gravenstein's then. A few of the small pieces still have some apple peel on them, and it looks like it's green, so I guessed it was Gravenstein. And now Captain wants to come in again. One of these days I'm gonna get a doggy door. Alright, does that look chopped enough for granola?
Yeah.
You think? So, that are a little bit bigger. That's okay. It's supposed to be a cup of dried fruit for the whole recipe. How did I do? I got about a half a cup. Should I chop up some more apples or should I just do a half a cup of raisins? I feel like I'd like to have more apple than raisin.
Yeah.
Okay, more apples. There, get some apples. Knife again. Now I'm gonna have more than a cup.
Yep.
Oh well. This will be really good with the cinnamon. That raisins. I think it's gonna be really yummy. That definitely looks chopped enough now. Oh yeah, now I've got more than a cup. Oh well.
Everybody likes apple.
Right? And if you're making something yourself, you can put as much of whatever you want in it. Make it your own. Nobody's gonna complain if I put extra apples in my granola.
No.
Get some raisins here. What do you think? Just totally cover those raisins or those apples with the raisins. I'll have to eat that one because it's hanging off the edge. That'll be good. It's about a cup, right? A heaping cup. Okay. We've got 15 more minutes before we have to rotate those pans of granola. Oh, there's another one that escaped. Okay. So, let's talk about Bravewood Beanery a little bit. Just in case you're new here, I roast coffee here at my home. I do small batch, roasted to order. The raisins are falling over. So if you order coffee from me, then I do a little happy dance. Woohoo! And then I put you on my roasting list, and I just go down the list and I roast exactly what you order. If you want it, you know, a medium roast or a dark roast or whatever. Some coffees are more appropriately roasted lighter, and some are better darker, and so I do sort of give you the options that are best for each variety of coffee. So that's why if you go to my website, which is bravewoodbeanery.com, you'll see some of them give you options for light roast and medium, or medium and dark, and some don't give you an option because I really have spent time optimizing my roast levels for each variety of coffee bean. So yeah, I can grind coffee for you if you don't have your own grinder, although I do very strongly recommend getting your very own coffee grinder. It makes a world of difference in the quality of your coffee. Even if you can only get a cheap coffee grinder, you know, like the kind you find at your local grocery store or department store, it's a great place to start if you want to make your coffee better. So yeah, I do sell whole bean coffee, or I can grind it. I do have a couple customers who ask for their coffee ground for their Keurig machines, so I can do that. I can roast, or I can grind for automatic drip, or for a French press, or an espresso. Although I assume that most people who are making espresso have a coffee grinder, but I could be wrong. I do occasionally grind espresso grinds for people. So yeah, what's going on at Bravewood? We are working on building a new roastery that will actually be outside of my kitchen, and that will be a huge step up for us to have some dedicated roasting space and bean storage space. Right now I have a room that it's my coffee room. It's full of my green coffee beans and all of my packaging supplies and my label printers and all the stuff that I need to make Bravewood Beanery happen. But I would really love to finish the building project and get us moved into that space outside of the house so that I can reclaim some of that space in the house for other things. And then I can leave things set up. I won't have to tear down, set up every time I get a coffee order. So yeah, right now I am working on something very exciting. At least it makes me happy, and I'm super excited to be getting it put together. I'm doing a Bravewood Beanery Umpqua, what am I calling it? Umpqua River blend, because we are located right along the Umpqua River. We're about a quarter of a mile from the river, so
yeah.
not far. And it, the river is sort of mysterious. It's kind of deep and treacherous down, you know, in the channels where where people actually get themselves into trouble sometimes. But on the surface, it's smooth and sparkly and deceptively calm looking. So
In some places.
in some places, right? Well, it's a river. You know, it has calm areas. It has dangerous areas. But I'm taking that as my inspiration for this blend to put together a coffee that is deep and mysterious, but with this sparkling overtone of, you know, the acidity. So I am blending together some Ethiopia Harrar for those sparkly upper notes. I have the Bali Blue Moon that I want for that deep, dark, mysterious part of the roast. And then I have a Colombian to smooth it all out and just make it all wonderful and gorgeous. It's gonna be a gorgeous coffee blend. I actually have the 3 coffees blended or roasted here and not blended, so I can show them off to you. So this is my deep and mysterious Bali Blue Moon, and hopefully you can see that past the reflections. Sorry. This is a medium roast. I think I want to take it a little bit darker than I did in this. That was just my first test. This is my Colombia Cafe Femenino, and if you would like to look up the organization that is Cafe Femenino, they are doing some wonderful community projects in all of their coffee communities all over the world. Some really wonderful things. So this is Colombia Cafe Femenino. It's a wonderfully smooth, slightly chocolatey blend, or not blend, bean. And this is the Ethiopia Harrar, which I did as a light roast, and you can't really see it that well because it's in plastic, not in glass. Let me show you. Oh wow. The aroma from this is just powerful, really wonderful. Oh, it's so good. So those are my sparkling high notes. Right now, I'm at the stage where I'm just trying to figure out the exact percentages of each coffee to go into the blend. I tried it with 50% Colombia, 25-25 Ethiopia and Bali, and that was really good. I think I would like to take the Colombia down a little bit. Maybe I'll even do like a straight thirds of each and see how that comes out. Boy, the Bali this morning was so spicy and so thick. It has a thick syrupy mouthfeel that is really, really wonderful. And Joy's giving me looks like, how in the world can you get that out of coffee? It tastes like coffee.
So your daughter and I still understand nothing about it.
It's just a really good one. Even as it's cooling down, because I've made that coffee at 6:30 this morning. It's almost gone. I don't drink my coffee really quickly.
6:40.
6:40. 6:30, 6:40. And
6:42 and 37 seconds.
Okay, whatever. It's been in my Contigo cup for a while. And yeah, so it's cooling down and it's still smooth and yummy.
0.5.
I am not getting any bitterness. I'm not getting any extra acidity, just the original little acidic note that makes it yummy. All right, we've got 6 more minutes on our granola in the oven. dried fruit ready to go in the granola. Let's see, I said I was rotating it at 20 minutes, and it was supposed to be 25 to 35 total baking time, right? So we'll see what it looks like when it comes out. Munch, munch, munch. Dried apples.
I have an entire jar.
Okay, Joy's gonna have to put the dried apples away. So, what do you guys think of Colombian coffee? Do you go for something more chocolatey, citrusy like Mexico Chiapas? You go for something more flowery, fruity like the Ethiopia Harrar? What is your favorite coffee? Let me know. 5 more minutes. I'll just get some stuff put away here. Alright, so this is what it looks like so far. I can smell it. It smells good.
It smells a little bit like oatmeal cookies.
Yeah, a little bit. Oats and cinnamon. Yep. Okay. So now we're going to set the timer again. Should we give it 10 minutes and check it? Alright. 10 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Well, maybe I'll make another batch of coffee. I could do another Aeropress. So I don't know if you all are aware or not.
I used to just play the guitar and make me cheap.
Oh, okay.
But it's fine.
So one of the things that I love about the Aeropress is that it goes with these little filter papers.
You're still on stream?
I am still streaming. Hi.
Hello, stream.
There's nobody watching us right now, but someone will watch later. So anyway, when you have an Aeropress filter, you can rinse it out and let it dry, and you can use it again. What were you going to ask?
I was going to ask you something, but you're in the middle of the stream. I'll just ask you later.
Okay. So this is the filter that I used this morning, and I'm going to go ahead and use it again today, right now. I really like the Aeropress. It took me a while to figure out my recipe. I really like to use the inverted method. I have seen people recently talking about a long infusion, like letting it sit for 10 minutes. So it's more like a French press. I have not tried that yet. I might have to try it in the future. So what I like to do is put my Aeropress together and pull the plunger down to the number 4 right here, and put 15 grams of sort of like medium ground, not fine like espresso, but not coarse like a French press, sort of medium-ish. And I think I'm going to do the Ethiopia. So I will bring it over here and weigh out. I'll clean this out. My grind cup tends to get chaff on it. The chaff just sticks to it because of the static electricity. Alright, so zero that out. Come on, 0. There. Alright, and we're going to go with 15 grams. Which is just about 2 scoops. minus a couple beans, depending on the beans, of course. I still have 15 grams. Dump that in the Aeropress. And when my water is hot, I will let that bloom. It is one of the things I like about the Aeropress is how simple it is. You don't need a gooseneck kettle. You don't need any special equipment, just something to heat water in and pour it out. Alright, so here is the granola.
Or does it look like a big O?
Because according to the recipe that I followed, this makes it so that you don't end up with your granola more done on the edges and not as done in the middle. But it looks to me like our edges got overdone. Anyway, so let me bring this over here. So you can see the edges here are, let me focus that a little. The edges are definitely darker than this middle part. But the directions say not to break this up until after it's cooled, because of course the goal is to get chunky granola. So we're going to let that cool and then we'll break it all up. I'll give it a few minutes to cool. And I did not actually turn on the burner under my tea kettle. It's easier to make coffee if your water's hot, unless you're making cold brew.
Here.
And I don't know, yeah, well, I was talking about coffee. But I don't know that cold brew is more difficult. It might be easier, but it does take longer. You could always do iced coffee and just make your hot coffee and put it directly over ice cubes. I've seen people do that with the Aeropress. They just put their cup, put ice cubes in their cup, put the Aeropress on top, plunge it right over the ice cubes. That could be good. I haven't actually tried that yet.
We should get rid of that peach black tea.
Oh,
I
yeah.
drank all of it.
I don't remember what brand that was.
Stash.
Stash peach black tea. Good stuff.
It is very good.
Yeah. Yep, we are not too picky around here. We'll drink tea too. I don't know anything about making my own dried teas or
I would
tea
like
blends.
to learn.
Yeah, I
Would
think
like
you
to.
have to be able to grow tea.
Yeah.
I don't think it would grow around here. So yeah, my coffee's just about gone. It'll be perfect timing.
Make more coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Make more coffee.
Make more coffee. Go
Oh.
from Bali to Ethiopia in one morning. Oh, it's afternoon now. In one day.
Yeah. And then there's still time to drink more coffee.
Still time to drink more coffee, but I want to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
I am one of those people who is sensitive to caffeine. So I'm just going to go ahead and crunch up or break up my granola a little bit here and try and get it to cool a little faster. Spread it out more. It is
Ooh.
looking clumpy. Is it good? Yeah. So once that's completely cooled, I will add in the dried fruit. It's
My
cool
hands
enough
are
I can pick it
sticky.
up. Not
I
yummy.
dropped the honey jar.
Yeah,
I've
we'll
been
have some
meaning
yummy
to
granola
wipe down
tomorrow.
the outside of the honey jar for a while.
I did just the other day.
And it's sticky again.
Mm-hmm.
Guess we use it.
We do. Yeah, that's pretty yummy.
And it's easier to pour than to scoop.
I like that this is not as overly sweet as the commercially, you know, commercially made granola. But it's good, and it did make nice chunks. So yeah, I think that's a win.
Nice. Like those cookies I made a while ago. With the
other
caramel
avocado.
and the toffee.
Oh yeah, those were good. Definitely a win. Okay. Yeah. Once that's completely cooled, I can put it in the jar. I don't want to put it in while it's still warm because then we'll end up with condensation in the jar and our granola will get moldy and that would not be good. So, alright. Just waiting for the tea kettle to boil. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that granola. I think I'm going to have to keep the recipe. I do have this pinned on Pinterest. I think I'm Little Woolly Things on Pinterest, if you want to go check out my pins.
I could check.
Yeah, woolly, not just because we raise sheep. I'm also a knitwear designer, and Little Woolly Things is my my name on social media for all the knitting content. If we have any knitters in here, hello! Talk to me. I'd love to meet some more knitting coffee people. Come on, tea kettle boil. Sometimes I use my espresso machine just to heat up water because it's so hot. I mean, so fast.
Yeah,
it's so
Little
fast.
Woolly
It
Things.
quickly gets the water hot.
Little Woolies.
Yep, there I am. Oh, show it to the camera. There's my Pinterest page, Little Woolly
Yep.
Things.
I'm following your Pinterest page.
Yep. Does it also have my food and drink? Or is that just knitting stuff?
I think this might be just knitting stuff. Wait. No.
Oh, maybe you need to follow me as Wendelica Klein. Let me see. Let me look, because I don't do much with Pinterest anymore. So I sometimes forget how I have things set up. Oh, it's Little Woolly Things.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I have a bunch of different categories here.
Yeah, I
the
was just
granola-
looking at the created.
Oh, okay, the ones that I saved. The home cooking section is where I have my granola recipes. So anyway, check out Little Woolly Things on Pinterest if you are interested in seeing the things that I have pinned. You can find me on Facebook, here on Twitch, on YouTube, on Instagram as Bravewood Beanery. I'm not sure what else besides Little Woolly Things. I'm on Ravelry as Little Woolly Things. If you are a knitter and you know what Ravelry is, or a crocheter. I also crochet and tat.
You don't really tap that much.
Not very often. Tatting is slow.
You haven't really put anything new on your shop like Little Woolly Things.
No, I haven't done anything with Little Woolly Things for a while. Although I do have a pattern that I'm working on that's going to be released in probably January. Ooh. Yep. I am working with a yarn company, Yarnaceous Fibers, and Maggie is custom dyeing some colors for me for this project, so it's very exciting. And I have most of the details worked out. I just need her yarn to arrive so that I can knit up a sample for that. Knitting for project or pattern development requires lots of coffee.
Yep.
Gotta have the coffee. Okay. And my tea kettle is just about hot. I don't want it to actually boil. I want it to get just almost boiling. So I have my 15 grams of coffee ground in here, and I am going to just fill it up to the top or nearly to the top with my hot water. No, actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I lied. I am going to give it just a little bit and swirl it to make sure all of the coffee is coated and wetted. And I'm going to let that sit for about 30 seconds to bloom the coffee, which releases some of the CO2. This is a recent roast, so it's going to be really bubbly. And the reason you want to do that is because the carbon dioxide, as it's off-gassing, actually interferes with the extraction of your coffee. Hi, Squeaker.
He was on the table.
Yeah, you know. Squeaker is really bad about getting up on tables and counters.
Yeah, and then he saw me walk over there. He's like, yeah, I know. You know you're not supposed to be up there.
Yeah, he knows he's not supposed to, but he does it anyway.
Because he is a cat.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't set a timer or anything. Is that been 30 seconds? It looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to put the rest of the coffee or the water on. I'm going to let it sit for about a minute or so. The thing about the Aeropress is that it's pretty forgiving. You don't really have to be that precise with it, and you'll always end up with good coffee. There are actually World Aeropress Championships that happen all over.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and people have very specific, like, detailed recipes for how they do their Aeropress coffee and which varieties and like what temperature the water is and how many times you stir, which is pretty cool. Like, I really love reading the recipes that people use for competitions. And then I try them and then sometimes I just go, that looks good. I know it's gonna be good. So this is the non-officially approved inverted Aeropress method that I am using right now. I really like it because it gives you a longer infusion time, and it's a little bit more like brewing in a French press, which is what I do every morning. Actually, it's what my husband does every morning, and then he brings me my coffee in my travel cup, and it's hot when I finally wake up because he goes to work before I get up. So, has it been a minute? I'll give it a few more seconds. I'm going to put the filter on top of the Aeropress, and then I'm going to very gently and slowly press the air out just till I can see the water of the coffee at the top of the filter. Okay, so now take the Contigo cup. I'm going to flip this upside down or over the right way and put it on top of the cup. It's just about fits. And then I'm just going to very gently, slowly press the coffee through the filter into my Contigo cup. And this is the part where you just relax and enjoy life. Think about how wonderful your coffee's going to be. Can you hear the coffee dripping? It's not very loud. Still pressing. Almost there. All right. Okay, that's it. I just take the filter holder off and pop that out. Oh, the garbage can is way over on the other side of the room. So I'm going to rinse off my filter and put it in a place where it can dry. And I can use that again a couple more times. Okay, so that did not fill my Contigo cup, so I'm going to do it Americano style and add hot water. There. And now my Ethiopia Harrar light roast is ready to enjoy. Oh wow. Oh, that is so fruity. That is so blueberry. Wow. Oh my gosh, that's so good. And it's even like super hot right now. As it cools down, I imagine that that berry flavor is just gonna pop even more. Oh, that's really good. Okay, that's gonna be listed in my on my website very soon. All right, my granola is just about cooled down now, so I am going to put my two pans together, and I will put this in a probably gallon jar with the dried fruit. Let's see, Elena, can you get down just the KitchenAid bowl, and we'll just mix it in there. There's another little bowl inside it. All right, thank you. Okay. Wow, that coffee's good. That's why I learned how to roast coffee, so I could make things like that. Can somebody get me the other pan of granola?
So what are you calling your blend you make?
It is the Umpqua River Blend. And
Oh yes,
my
I
goodness.
remember you and Debbie talking about that.
I am working on designing custom labels for that one. It's gonna be so awesome. It's so awesome. Okay. Yep. I think I'm done with that. So I'm just breaking up this other pan a little bit as I take it out and put it in the mixing bowl. I love my Silpat mats because
How long are you going to continue putting?
we are almost done. I just need to mix in the dried fruit and
Dried fruit. That's a good idea.
This is the only way to do it, in my opinion. Was that your phone or mine?
Yours.
Okay. Okay. So here is my finished granola.
She's watching the stream on her phone while she's on the stream. She can see herself on stream watching the stream. Yeah.
I can see the camera, and I can see the stream, and I can see Elena watching the stream on the camera.
Wow.
What? Okay, so yes, my granola is finished. I am pretty happy with that. It's gonna be a wonderful breakfast tomorrow morning.
Woo.
Yep, we're gonna have a busy day tomorrow. I got a busy day today for the rest of the day. So I am going to sign off and enjoy this coffee while I roast more coffee and package coffee and get coffee shipped out to my customers because they're the best and they bought coffee from me, so they should get it. So that's what's going on at Bravewood. I will be here next Monday, I think at 11 o'clock again. Check out twitch.tv/Bravewood Beanery. And we will see you next time. Have a wonderful week. I hope that you have some wonderful coffee and someone to share it with. Bye.